Nice
maybe
segue.
doing that on purpose. Well, welcome everyone. It looks like it's time to get started. First off, thanks for being here. Have you ever wondered, is there an app for that? Well, you know, we all say it all the time. Well, of course there is. Our next speaker has that answer. And if you've never met Beth Z, not sure where you've been, to be honest. Beth is a speaker and she's a nerd. And I say that because it's in my script. I didn't make that up. So as you see on her shirt there, she is a proud nerd. Since her first Motorola Razr flip phone, how many had one? I had one. How many had a Razr? Yes, now we're talking. Beth has made a verb out of the word nerd. She's here to help you filter through thousands of apps, gadgets, widgets, and doodads. Really interested in those doodads to find out the perfect free and bargain technology tools for work and home. Although the only real trophy she's ever won for making perfect French fries at McDonald's in high school. Beth Z has been featured on the best speaker list by several organizations who write best speaker list. She has written a whole shelf of books. I thought you could see the books behind her, but that's not, so disregard that. She's written several books on apps and has spoken to more than 100,000 audience members just like you. And so if you're wondering why she goes by Beth Z, it's because there's only a few people around who can actually pronounce her last name, and I'm not going to try it. So without any further ado, Beth Z, take it away.
Oh, I feel the love. I miss y'all. We all miss each other, right? Let's do a quick experiment here. I want you to push back from your computer, and I can see y'all, so don't pretend you're doing it. I want you to push back from your computer and stand up wherever you are. Except David Lusk, I'm not seeing him, but in Reagan, there we go. All right, push back. And then I want you to raise your hands. Put your hands in the air like you do not care. If you're older, you know what that means. Joel keeps disappearing. That's pretty awesome for a belly. All right, so when I count to 3, I want you to reach for your nearest mobile device. And as soon as you get it, get to the chat and go, got it. Ready? One, Joel, I haven't even gotten to 1 yet. 1, 2, 3, go. Grab it. When we got it. Got it. Aaron was first. Got it. Oh, there you go. You are seconds at any given time, day or night, from that device. And so as I talk today about some technology we use, understand that you have more power in your pants pocket, it's PG, than has ever existed in the history of the world for professionals like us. So here's the deal. What was on the agenda for us to talk about was a session I've been doing called Leading with Focus, and it's all about tools to help you be more productive. But when I thought about this, and I thought about specifically what association professionals are going through, I created instead a presentation that I'm calling Questions for a Pandemic World. It has some of those focus tools in there, so you're not going to be robbed if you just showed up for that. But it has a whole bunch of questions I want you to be asking yourself about what you're doing right now, where you can be right now, and how to take advantage of how to ask yourself these questions so we prepare for the next stage and use technology to solve them. All right, let's go first. Are you truly communicating? Are you truly communicating? Right now, we are stuck in these little boxes. Over and over again, we're having these meetings. Is that real communication? Are we really connecting with people? Or are we just doing this over and over again and kind of wasting some time? So these first tools that I'm going to talk about are really ways to connect with people rather than just to look at people in our little boxes. Comeet, Loom, Bomb, and Dump. Loom. I think I should make up a new tool like that. Let's first talk about CoMeet. I just found this, and it's really changed the way I'm communicating with my manager. So she just had a baby. Apparently, by the way, if you would like to get pregnant, you should come work for me, because apparently every time 6 months or so into our relationship, you need to go on maternity leave. Thank you for that. Anyway, she has a beautiful baby. She just went on maternity leave. It's been wonderful, but she's also got another small kid. It's impossible for us to have one of these. We just don't get together and do this anymore because she's got so much going on. So I discovered CoMeet, and it's asynchronous meetings. It's where you can have that kind of update where you're in your little boxes telling people what's going on. But instead of trying to have those meetings, we just do a series of 2-minute videos. Let me show you what they look like. So down the right side of this page is our CoMeet channel. And we're asking questions. Some of these actually were about GSAE. You know, what's going on with GSAE? Do we have all the information we need? And we have less than 2 minutes per video for little updates, little questions. And instead of going back and forth or trying to find a time to meet or trying to do all this through email, we just kind of do all of the things together in, oh, look, see, there's the baby, in these little asynchronous tools. Now, CoMeet is free for the pricing for most of us at this level. And I think actually they're going to stay free for a little while, but it's all in my calendar. And immediately, rather than having big meetings, I can do that. Let's talk about communication with our members. One of the things that's been a huge challenge is that we are trying to connect with our members. Some of you have associations that your members are busy as heck during this crazy time, and some of you have associations where your members are kind of falling apart. Either way, communicating with them one-on-one has to go beyond a buck up email or a we're with you email. We have to be looking them in the eye and telling them where we are. And so this is why I love these kind of tools. Let me show you. Let's see. I have BombBomb and Dub, and another one is called Loom. Loom's a little bit different, and Loom, all three of them have free versions. Loom I like best for their free version. It's very robust. But here's what I did with Dub. So there was this person who wrote to me, and he said, I want to help you with your business. I would like you to introduce you to some of the associations I work with, because he's wonderful. I know. So instead of him just saying, hey, I know this person, Beth, and she's great, he sent one of these. I made a quick dub video that actually, when it is embedded into an email, it ends up being a little GIF. Listen, I don't judge whichever one you want to say, but it begins with a little GIF, and it previews a video and it tells you how long the video is. And so instead of him just writing a few words about me, I was able to say, hey, Eric told me that we need to know each other. I'm Beth Z, whatever. And instead of that disconnected email that we keep sending, it was a one-on-one. Now imagine when you are talking to your members, yes, you hear them. Yes, you want to be there for them. Yes, you want to connect with them. How about sending these types of videos instead? The cool thing about Dub and BombBomb and Loom is that they will let you see statistics about who opened, how often, and things like that. If you put the emails in there, it'll say specifically who opened. It is what I call hashtag helpful, but creepy. But when you do that, you can see that your message is being received. And this is great for your one-on-ones with your sponsor. This is great for your one-on-ones with your committee members who are sticking with you and trying to get you through, trying to help you and help their members through this tough time. Again, it's instead of that email that can seem a little bit impersonal, and that I don't know if y'all remember at the beginning of the pandemic, You got emails from every single business you've ever walked by to say, here's how we're handling this difficult time. Here's how we're supporting you. You know, Hertz, we're cleaning out the cars, all these things. But we're past that, and we need that personal connection to pull us together. So have video conversations with people rather than just sending another email. Next context here, are you really listening? There was a study from the Stress Management Society, and they said during regular times, we can manage about 7 messages coming at us at the same time. During times of stress, it goes down to 3. Plus, we end up just hearing the one word or the last thing that was said, the one word that's like in all caps in our minds, one idea, or the last thing that was said. So, learning how to listen better is is really challenging, and this is one of the 5 questions, one of the questions you need to ask yourself. Are you really listening? So there are a couple of tools that I like in this category. One's called Otter and one's called Crisp. Otter has changed my life. So what happens is that frequently I have conversations with clients, and we're planning out what's going to happen on the next event and that kind of thing. We're making sure we're connecting with people, what have you. um I promise a lot of stuff, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do that extra bonus, super extra thing for you. And then I'll add these 3 things to that. And I'm glad you asked about that because I will add them. And then I get off the phone and my manager's like, hey, what did you promise them? And I'm like, I have no idea. So Otter has changed the whole dynamic with this. With Otter, it does real time transcription. So watch this. So actually, let me ask for a volunteer. Which guy has the deepest sounding? Oh, Mike Pennington. Let me ask you to unmute.
Unmute.
Unmute. All right. Now, watch what happens. Mike, why are you weirder than I am? That was a conversation we're having earlier.
Weird is fun and normal is boring. So I lived my whole life thinking that I wanted to be the weirdest person I possibly could be. And all the people on this call will probably agree with that statement.
Oh, I see. You're a conscientious weird person. I am an unconscious weird person. I think the native weirdness wins. So thank you for playing. All right. So that was kind of mean to him. But look what happened while I was speaking. Otter transcribes every single word in real time. And not only that, but when I stop this, it's going to use artificial intelligence to go back through that transcription and identify the speakers better, clean up the wording better, get more context in it. And now I have this to be able to share with my manager. So instead of, we promised each other things 100%, instead of that, and me just trying to guess on what I promised, then I have that written down. Now, please, I just put Mike through a sad, sad moment. So please, please, please give Mike a round of applause in the chat. Because we love that. Thank you, Mike, for playing, even though you didn't know you were going to. All right. So let's go back to this tool. It's called Crisp. It was funny, before everybody came on, we were like, be sure to mute yourself. When we first getting started, be sure to mute your thing. We don't want to hear your dog in the background, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? There are tools that are helping us with this. Now, believe it or not, in Microsoft Teams and in some of these other tools, they are implementing some of these noise detection type tools. But for right now on Zoom, we have to do it ourselves. This is called Crisp. I just discovered it the other day. And what Crisp does is it takes out that audio in the background. So Crisp, if you take a look here, there's a barking dog in the background, right? So I'm going to play this. look at the red line on the audio line.
If you
Whoa.
can, try to show more of yourself. Push your camera back.
Okay, so we heard the dog. Now I'm going to turn on crisp. The red line disappeared. Watch.
Push your computer back so you can show those hand gestures. Don't be afraid to just to get into a nice outfit if you must. It also feels a little bit more professional.
Ta-da! Dog gone. I guess that's pretty funny to me. So dog gone, construction noise gone. Listen to this.
Sorry for the short notice, and thanks for making time for this urgent call. I was informed only yesterday that we should participate in a conference that's
I don't know about y'all, but every single one of my neighbors wants to mow the lawn every time I get on one of these things, and it'll help. What I love also about Crisp is it actually has, you get a few minutes free a month. So this is for your bigger board meetings or something like that, or your conference. But what I also love about it is it's a paid version, but it has a phone capability. I don't know about y'all, but in the past, when I was walking through airports and I was trying to return phone calls, it was a mess. You could tell I was walking through an airport and trying to return phone calls. It's not the airport was a horrible place to do this, but we had to do it a lot. It filters those as a phone call, so you don't have to have that in the background. All right, let's go back and let me show you some other things. Are you learning how to focus? This was, by the way, let me check because I have so much stuff. Wendy, would you put down the amount of time I'm supposed to have during this? Because ask my husband, I can talk all day. Tell me what my hard stop is just because, okay. Oh, we have so much time. Yay. All right. So this was the presentation I was going to give today, and I'm going to give you some pieces and parts of it. Are you learning how to focus? Right now, folks, the distractions are insane. We have things coming at us from every direction. Not only do we have that barking dog, that screaming child, but we're working at home, or we're working in strange places, or people who are panicked about what's going on are coming toward us all the time. In order to survive this, we need to take back some of that time. It's essential to be the kind of people we need to be to help our members. So I'm going to tell you about these two things. They both have technology you can use, but you don't need it necessarily. So let's talk about time boxing. Time boxing is a very simple concept for a very important tool. Have you ever had a list of things to do, and on that list you have everything from write the 2021 budget to eat lunch, right? It's all on the same list. So time boxing lets you dissect that list and find those pieces and parts and put them on the calendar. So instead of saying, in fact, somebody just wrote me and said he was working on his 2021 budget, which is horrifying. So instead of saying, I'm going to sit down today and this is on my list of things to do, you say, I'm going to work on the 2020 budget on Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. And I'm going to give myself 2 hours to do this. Does all kinds of things to your brain. The first thing it does is put it on the calendar so that if you control your calendar or if other people control your calendar, it doesn't matter. You have blocked out the time and you can't have another one of these, which wastes so much time. The second thing it does is when you go into a time period with an intention, you are much more likely to get it done than if you just say, I'm going to work. If you go into a time period with an intention, it will really help you focus. The third thing it does is takes it off your worrisome things that are in your head, right? I have to do the budget. I have to do the budget. You wake up saying that. You have a time and a date and a place to do that budget, and you would put it in so you're a little bit more secure in that. Another thing it does is it helps you figure out exactly how long these stupid things take. I have allocated 4 hours to work on the 2021 budget. Well, that's fantastic, but does it take you 14 hours to do that thing? It'll help you start quantifying so that when you are doing your time planning for other things, you can have that kind of information in your head and know exactly how. Any of y'all have newsletters out there? Newsletters, you're like, oh, I got to get out the newsletter. It takes about 14 hours longer than you think it's going to do to get out the newsletter almost every time. And again, time boxing, you have 2 hours or 4 hours that you block to do the newsletter, and you can then figure out how long it's actually taking you. Then we have Pomodoros. This is another topic in this same category. Anybody know what the Pomodoro technique is? I'm going to look in the chat. Pomodoro technique. Let's see. By the way, somebody just privately said, I look fantastic. You don't have to direct message that. You can just put it out there.
Wow.
I know. I learned the Pomodoro from you. Excellent. The Pomodoro technique is very simple. What the Pomodoro technique does is it says, set a timer. It was done by this guy in Italy, and he had a kitchen timer that was shaped like a tomato. And he said, you know what? I'm not getting a lot of things done. So I'm going to take this tomato kitchen timer and set it. He set it for 25 minutes and then he put it down. During that time, he would do one thing during that time. He wouldn't just sit down to work. He would say, I'm going to work on the 2021 budget for this period of time. And then he wouldn't answer his emails. He wouldn't answer his phone calls. He wouldn't, ironically, of course, search for Kim Kardashian's shoe collection. Nope. He would do that one thing. When the timer went off, he would take 5 minutes and do other things. If you break up your time like this, you are guaranteed to get things done. Now, I found out in the pandemic that I have trouble with 25 minutes. I'm using it a lot for creating content, writing a blog post and things like that. 25 minutes doesn't do it for me. So I do it for an hour and a half. And I say, okay, I'm going to write this at 2:00 on Tuesday for an hour and a half. And that's about the time I need to get into it. Studies have shown that when we get distracted, when we're in the middle of the task and we get distracted, it can take 23 minutes for us to get back to that place. So that's more of a time period that I like. But at other times when I'm forcing myself to get through email, I will set that 25-minute timer, and it is hard sometimes to stay there, but it'll change your life if you can learn how to pull that in. Again, we could use technology for both of these techniques, right? But you don't have to. There are tons of Pomodoro timers. There are time boxing techniques, but I don't want you to get hung up on doing those kind of things. I want you to just make sure you give them a try. All right, this is fun. This is fun. Are you using what you already have? Listen, we are not creating new memories with live events right now. We are waving in a grid to say, hey, we're all here. It's sad. We took one picture. I'm sure it's going to turn out wonderfully, but it's sad because we can only do little things like this. But we have tons of stuff in our archives that we can use. So are you using things you're already using? Already have in your possession? And I'm going to tell you about 3 things that I like that to me blow me away in how to repurpose. The first one is called Lumen. So let me go over here. I prepared something here. I went over to, let's see, where is it? So GSAE's about page has some mission statement, focus, position, promise, our core values. Now, how many of y'all have ever gone here to actually read it? Not that it's not wonderfully written. I'm sure we worked with strategic planners. I'm sure we spent a lot of money and time and effort coming up with those wonderful words, but it doesn't matter because very few of even our own members are going to check these things out. Wendy, I've been reading yours. I've been like looking at yours all my life. So not me, those other people. But how can we create something with what we already have? So this tool is called Lumen 5. Lumen 5 uses artificial intelligence to take text, match up pictures and concepts to create little videos. So all I did was I took the Lumen 5, I took this page and I copied and pasted it and put it in to this tool. I'm gonna get one of y'all to give me a page, and we'll do it for you too. But it pulled the data in there, and then it created a little video. Now I just did it. I didn't check to see, but it pulled out little phrases. It highlighted little things. It best place for suppliers, professionals to form meaningful connections. Look at those people forming a connection. Our core values. Okay, so I'm going to push preview and see what it came up with. I did not alter this at all. That's a prison. Okay, so it did a really poor job sometimes, starting with the prison, right? So let's go to the prison and say, okay, that was not good. So I'm going to go Georgia, right? And instead of that, let's see, Wendy, why don't you come on up here with me and tell me which picture you like? Are you there?
I have to get my reading glasses on.
Oh, perfect. You look
Do we
cute.
like skylines, or I'm gonna say Savannah was our host city this year. Let's look coastal. It looks like there's a Savannah in there.
Okay, let me see.
Down a little bit, maybe.
All right. How about this one? No, that's premium.
Oh, so we've got to choose a freebie. You could go skyline then.
All right. Well, if I don't get the one you want, we're just going to pretend
we can always change it.
All right. So I just changed it, and now I'll preview it.
Oh, Mike is saying that's the country of Georgia as opposed to the state.
Well,
again, reading glasses.
Whatever. I don't know which country that is, but that's pretty. Better than the prison, yes.
Better than the prison, absolutely.
And then we come down here. I don't know. This is about defining values. So this one, I love this. It cut off some of the words. So the state of Georgia as a nonprofit organization is exempt from GSA's antitrust policy statement. So here are people who are talking about antitrust on the phone. I'm not really sure. So all I would need to do though is come in here and fix some of the language, change some of the graphics, and it will have a really cool one. Let me do it with somebody else. Thank you, everybody. Clap for Wendy, because number one, she put this together, and number two, she joined us. So these are all the country of Georgia. Yay. Well, thank you for pointing it out, Mike. Appreciate that. All right. So who on here can give me a link to for Mike? It just was a little late. Let's see. Neil gave me a link. Let me see what we got here. So I am going to copy and paste Neil's link into here and see if we've got some text that we can use. All right, they've got a blog. So instead of doing the page like I did the URL, because it's really good for blog posts, especially shorter ones. So I'm going to copy and paste this and see what we get. So I'm going to go to Lumen 5 and back to the dashboard, and then I'm going to press my plus sign. And then I'm going to, you'll see we have 3 different things that we can try. And I just pasted that in there. Neil, can you pop up and be a part of this? Can someone spotlight your video?
Sure.
And you can tell me, do you want square or horizontal? The other ones are kind of weird because they break it out. So you got square or horizontal. Horizontal. All right. And what's your favorite color? Which one? 1 through 9?
Red.
Red. So focus or classic or lively?
Classic.
All right. Okay, so now it's going out. It's looking at your stuff. I didn't really read your text, so I have no idea if this is going to work. If it brings up more of the country of Georgia, I'm giving up, and we're just going to pretend this worked. But here we go. Here are people connecting. Electrical industry. All right. So resources, apprenticeship, and phone service supplies. Here's contractor. I don't know what that means. The IEC. Let's go. You can also put your own stuff in here. Electrical. How about this one? Perfect, he says. Here's a watchdog. I love that. There we go. There is the watchdog. And I just did this with the Michigan Library, so that's the outro. But again, in just a couple of minutes, it put together something. Let's see. Manpower, health, insurance. All right, health. Let's see, health insurance. Oh, look at that. Here's health insurance. All right, so let's preview it. Again, this just was a quick one. Look at those people succeeding. 401k and retirement. Okay, there you go. I like that one. Supplies and shipping. I see that. There you go. And the watchdog. I don't know. I kind of like the watchdog. Sometimes I make these funny because you can use GIFs. GIFs. I know it really is supposed to be GIF, but some people say it wrong. I told you I wouldn't judge. Dang it. You can use funny things. I've used fun ones and made it different rather than doing the serious ones. But again, you're using what you have. Thank you. Another round of applause for Neil. All right. Let's see. Now let me show you this resource, which is very cool. It's Majesto. Now this was Georgia Realtors from a couple of years ago, but you can take all the pictures you have and all the stock footage you have of your events and things like that and throw it into Majesto, and it does quick little videos like this one.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm knocking on your door. I know you're there inside. Don't you wanna come out and play? So get up off the floor. The sun is in the sky. Don't you wanna come out and play? Forget all your troubles. They'll burst like a bubble. Let's make it a double and let go. Come out and play. Don't you wanna come out and play?
So that one I did in a matter of minutes. I just took a whole bunch of videos and little pieces and parts that I had and made that on the floor while we were there. But y'all have stock videos, stock pictures, all kinds of things from the past. Can you use them? The last one I want to show you. Now, this one is a little bit weird. It's kind of annoying and a little bit weird, much like apparently Lumen 5 today. But what it does is it imports blog posts and other articles and things into little ebooks. So I don't know if y'all knew this, but this is in your giveaway folder, by the way. I was Zoom bombed and it was horrifying. And I wrote a post about it. So instead of just having a post about it, within a couple of minutes, I was able to import that post and make a little ebook that you can flick through. It's got a table of contents. Again, let me show you how easy this is. Somebody in the chat post a blog post. It has to be a blog post. And I will do this. So Mike Pennington asked Majesto, is this videos only or still images too? So the beauty about the images, the video with Majesto is that it uses facial recognition, object recognition, spatial recognition, everything, and artificial intelligence to really make a good through line. But you can do photos as well, and it synchronizes it to the music, does it with a template, and in a matter of minutes. Okay, I need a very specific blog post that has, all right, baby got beer. This, of course, is perfect for what we're doing right now. Yeah. 2020 baby got beer holiday guide from Mike. All right, so we have, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good because it's got those headings that'll work. So Mike, would you come up here and be on deck with me?
Always.
All right, so I am going to import from the blog post. I'm going to paste. Now, the cool thing, designer, if you go there and look around within about 0.2 seconds, if you go to Facebook, they're going to offer you a lifetime deal. So just so you know, it's going to look expensive and then you're going to go there and it'll be like $69 for a lifetime deal or something like that. So I'm going to fetch this. It's going out and getting that post and then it's bringing it in. Then we're going to pick a style. So be ready to pick the style you want. Which one do you like? None of these have beer.
We'll go with that yellow one on the right.
Yellow one on the right. All right. Now it's going to pull those in. Now it gave me an error message at the top and I don't know why. So you can have, oh, it's pulling in some of your graphics, just the same graphic apparently over and over again.
You had that as a bullet point for each one, so that would need to be edited.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then Pelican was somewhere on there as well.
It is.
So let me preview this. Let's see, where can I preview? Somewhere along the way, I can preview. This one gets a little sticky, especially if you've got if you've got a lot of security on your browser, it just gets weird. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Preview. Now it's created an ebook and you can put in page breaks right here and you can insert a table of contents. So everything is in the right place on the right page. And obviously these had very small little text, but if you've got points underneath the points, all of those will be put here. You can even come back in and put pictures of the Brew Your Own IPA. Lordy, some of your imagery is awesome. Let's see. When all else fails, you see it highlighted that. And then here you can do an About Us page. And in a matter of minutes, you can create these little ebooks, these little guides. So you have 6 different blog posts about how to survive the pandemic. Put them all in the same thing. Easy breezy. All right, now it is time to clap again. Thank you, Mike, for joining us. Everybody clap in the chat because we love people who volunteer. All right, let's talk about, are you making online safety a priority? Folks, I was Zoom bombed. Y'all are going to get that. But other than that, there are all kinds of problems that are happening in the world that you need to get a hold of. Zoom bombing, y'all got that. But let's talk about LastPass. First, though, I need yet another volunteer. Somebody who has an AOL, you know, you're out there, an AOL email you have used for a while? Let me see. We're going to promote you and not mock you, but you're going to serve, we're going to show what's going on with this kind of problem. Who do we have? I can wait you out, people. I got 9 minutes. Just an email maybe that you've had for a long, long time that you keep using. It doesn't have to be AOL. It can be, there we go. Alexis. Oh, crap. Now she's going to say something. My echo gets a little sensitive. So can we promote the person whose name starts with A and rhymes with my little device over here?
I'm here. Hi.
Hi. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I am coming over here. Oh, I'm already on the page. This is a site called Have I Been Pwned? It's like owned with a P, and nerds don't get out much, so we make up words. What I'm going to do is paste your email address. And what this does is it looks through all these databases that are now publicly available on the dark web, but the bad guys have them, have all of them. And this site aggregates them. Google is doing the same thing to check and see if you've been involved. So I'm going to click pwned. Oh no. It's going to make my noise in just a second. That's a slow noise. You have been on 13 breached. There it is. Too slow. You have been on 13 breached sites. Animoto, you were a member of Animoto, which I love. They were in July of 2018. They were hacked. Canva, May of 2019. Collection One, data enrichment. Some of these were like aggregates of different things and you never signed up for it, but they've just stolen your information. Look at the information they stole. Email addresses, geographic locations, names, passwords, usernames, geographic locations, job titles, things like that. Exploit in, Last FM, all of these things you have been exposed. Now, here is the deal. Person whose name starts with A, you are fine if you have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit. Now, person whose name starts with an A, is that true? Do you have a unique, unguessable password? You never reuse them for every single site you visit?
Absolutely not.
And there we have it. But you are not alone. You are not alone. Number one, everybody clap for her because we need to know that she needs to know she's supported. You are not alone in the slightest. Here's the deal. Y'all stay on speaker view, but I put everybody on gallery view, and I want everybody to look me straight in the eye. Straight in the eye. Look up at your camera. If you have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit, when I count to 3, maintain eye contact. If you don't, if you reuse your passwords in any capacity, and I know, then I want you to lower your head. All right, I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Wendy, no. Damien, look at how proud Damien is with a big thumbs up. David Lusk, are you looking at me in the eye? Okay, oh, no. Y'all have now done the password look of shame. What? I know. You need to have that. Write this down. You need to have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit. Damien, I have begged her to get on LastPass. She's talking about Wendy. And Wendy, I have begged you to get on LastPass. And apparently you need to hire me more often, huh? So you need to have this. You need to have this. Write this down. If you take nothing else from the few minutes we spend together, that's what you need to remember. All right, enough lecturing, Beth. Let me go to, I've got a couple more things here that are going to be in your handouts. We're not going to get to them today because Wendy's going to cut me off in 5 minutes. Here is, so LastPass, people are talking about that. What LastPass does is it saves all your passwords in a secure vault. And every time you go to a site, it'll fill them in for you. But more importantly, it'll help you generate unique, unguessable passwords for every single site you visit. You cannot reuse passwords because if you were involved in a breach and you reuse passwords, they have that as the common denominator, and they will in milliseconds use some of their very inexpensive software that does so much and get you where it hurts, which is your bank accounts, your friends, your family, your contacts, all kinds of stuff. So Mike Pennington says, I think LastPass is the one that has never been hacked. It's not exactly true. They were hacked in 2015, but LogMeIn bought them after that. In 2015, they were attacked and their defenses held. So if your LastPass password itself was unguessable and really smart, you were fine. Some people who had really weak the password to get into LastPass were affected, but it was 2015 and they've been fine ever since. Last question, are you taking care of yourself? Is it bad that I've forgotten my LastPass password? There we go. Are you taking care of yourself? This is critical. Let's talk about self-care. The first thing I'm going to talk about is one that is important for your family. This is a bridge a lot of us have family members we're worried about right now. This is a transcription tool that is made to take with you to your doctor. It defines all those terms, all those treatments, all those drugs. I tell you, my mom had cancer for 7 years, and 7 years worth of doctors. She finally succumbed to it. But my dad and she would go to the doctor, and my sister and I would be like, what kind of cancer? What kind of cells? What kind of chemo? And they had just heard cancer, chemo, right? Going back to that time of stress. So this is made to take to your doctor's office and help you define those terms. It is free. They just got funding. All right. And the last thing I want to talk about, and I really want us to do this, is gratitude. Now, I am a nerd. I like my statistics. I like my proof. And so let me see. I've got an article here. I went out to say, does gratitude really help? And this is a whole bunch of studies that they've done to talk about the benefits of just 5 minutes of gratitude a day. It makes us happier. It makes people like us better. It makes us healthier. There are all kinds of studies that have proved these things. And so let's give this a try. We have 1 minute left. I want you to stop what you're doing right now. I know your phones are right there next to you because you picked them up 6 times since I've been speaking. I want you to stop what you're doing. I want you to pick up your phone. I want you to text somebody you haven't done in a while, and I want you to thank them. We're going to take 30 seconds to do this. Text somebody and thank them. Actually, we'll take a minute. I will play this if you don't want to play that.
Charges, receipts, invoices, statements, taxes, budgets, paperwork, pollution. There's just no getting around it. Okay, then, get through it. Now from Sharp, maker of the world's most complete line of electronic calculators, the LC8. World's smallest electronic calculator by Sharp. Price tag to match. Works anywhere on battery or plug-in. LC8. Small, fast, silent. Ends paperwork pollution. LC8. World's smallest electronic calculator by Sharp. Price tag to match. $345. Complete. See it.
Okay, that should have been long enough for you to text somebody and probably long enough for them to write back and say, what the hell's wrong with you? All right, I have a big finish and then I'm out because y'all are going to these wonderful breakout sessions. Ready?
Our nerdy time is through, but Beth Z is always here for you. Your nerdybestfriend.com.
Thank y'all so very much. Thank you so very much.